and I'm a solution therapist. Today I'll be taking up the second part, and that is what is focus actually dependent on, the symptoms and some of the things that will affect the focus that we have in life. So going ahead, I hope you all have listened to the first part yesterday, because I'll be referring the example that I have mentioned, and that is the pizza. So keeping that in mind, I'll just go on ahead. Hi mentalist, how are you? So the categories over here are like the student category, second is the young adult, third is young parent, the middle age, the people, those people who have taken up retirement, and working people. So these are the categories. Focus is actually dependent on these categories. Those who are listening right now, or whenever you listen to this video, remember that you will be in one of the categories I just mentioned, and therefore your focus is only required to be apt and applicable in that category. Do not jump into any other category, because it usually happens. Like for example, if you are a young adult and over here your focus is towards the career, and if you compare your focus or how you used to be very enjoying a particular task initially, but now you're not, so you are having a reference point from the previous category, and that could be a student category. Maybe when you were graduating and you like to do something, and now exactly the same thing you are doing, but you have shifted and now you are a young adult, therefore the requirements are different. Keep that in mind, because a comparison then should not be there in your own self. The box that I had mentioned yesterday for the pizza, the space that I was referring to means exactly the same. It is the boundary that you are working in the current moment, and therefore you don't have to go back into any other category, maybe in the past or jumping into the future. Then is the probability part. So don't do that. Coming to what the student mean and how is focus varying over there. When you are a student, then you are only expected to do studies and to take part in extracurricular activities. I am not denying the fact that the friends are not important or you're not going to spend time. But since I said yesterday, focus actually means your investment of time and your dedication towards the activities wherein your interest lies. So meeting with friends does not take a much of that push factor wherein you need to really work upon it, but studies does. So focus over there will be needed, and it is dependent upon that particular age when you are a student. Going to young adult, when you are a young adult, then your focus shifts, and it should be how you build your own communication skills, how you make those connections in your own particular field, and how you move ahead in career. So the focus is towards these things that you are supposed to do or is ideal in that particular age group. Moving ahead to young parent. Now over here it is the career is there. Now comes the family part. So family is like you're getting married and you are now building up the relationship factors. So the focus is split into your personal life and your professional life. So both the end you are there, in between you are present, because you have to manage on both the sides, on either sides, right? The professional and the personal end. So the focus has to be divided, or if not less in each one of them, but it needs to be dedicated. When I talk about relationship, when I talk about young parent, so here I would just like to add over here, like if you are doing any activity as simple as playing a game, you need to then learn the basics, right, before you jump into the main game. Or if you need to go and pursue any job, and it requires particular skill. It means you're going to invest time to develop those skills so that you match the requirement of that particular career, right? So you're investing some time in building up your grounds or the foundation. Likewise, similarly, when you are getting married, you need to spend some quality time in building up that relationship. Don't miss out on the fact that, okay, you're married and you don't need to work upon it. You actually need to work because your focus has to be equally given to your professional life. That's your bread and butter. That's where you are earning, so that you can maintain this aspect also. So both of them are equally important, and they should not be neglected or ignored at any point. Moving ahead to the next category, that is the younger or the middle age. Now the career is moving ahead. Yes, you are there at a particular stage or at a particular position. The focus shifts not in, holding on to the career path, because you have already developed those skills. You already know. Now it is the responsibility part. You are given more responsibility. Therefore, your engagement with the work, with the family has increased. So focus level also needs to match both the situation. So middle age is responsibility and the savings. You are now, working on as to how to save for the grey days, or you even have to think about planning a particular event. So that needs your own dedication and the focus part. So I will give a reference to the PISA, how it is related with the symptoms, because this is the age group and it is dependent on this particular category that you are placed. If you are in the middle age, so responsibility and your savings will be the priorities which need your attention and some valuable or quality time. Moving ahead to the next one, those who have retired. Now over here they are not doing any job, so the career is not their priority. Now the priority shifts towards maintaining themselves, managing their time, engaging into any of their hobbies. Or some parents, grandparents in India especially, they take care of their grandchildren also. So that could also be an engagement. So their focus is now shifted to more subtle and not aggressive thing. Maybe they are, when they are doing any of their hobbies, they may be passionate about it. So they need to then bifurcate their focus equally into all those areas. So it's dependent upon, because health issues will come, that I'll talk about when I'm talking about the reasons or the areas which actually can show that and needs your focus in totality. Coming to the last part, working people. Now you can be a working people, in between two categories or in any of the category. When you're working, then your requirement and your focus is how you need to work on the growth factor. Like in the career part, as in the young adult, you are in the initial stages of career. Now usually it can be that you like to do a particular thing, and to go step up in that particular hierarchy of your own workplace, you need to learn something, right? So you need to invest your time besides your own main time for that particular personal level, professional level, your me time. Besides that, you need to create one more time for yourself so that you meet up with the requirement. So your focus is again, split up into now 4 parts, and all of them are important. You cannot ignore. How you can do, it just clicked to me right now. If you have listened to music, and if you go into the system part of the music, and you see you can, vary each note of it by changing the bass or the treble, or you can increase the tone of it. So there are changes that you can make, so to have the different output. Likewise, in your life, whichever stage you are, you can make those changes so as to meet that current situation. Now when you are working or when you are in school, right, referring to the pizza, as I told you yesterday, the box part is the mind part, the space part, which holds all the direction and the distraction for you. So if you are in the school, that is a reference of your own boundary. Like right now, if you are listening to this and the focus is there to listen, so your boundary, if you just scan around your area, that is the boundary. There could be so many things that can hold your attention and you can get distracted by it. It is a possibility. People say that, okay, phone is the most distraction thing. Children do get distracted. Fair enough. But then phone is also an essential thing because all the homework part or the messages for the meeting and all that is there on the phone. So it can be, it's a debatable thing. It can be a boon also, and it can be a bane also. It can be anything, but it is a boundary. Now you need to work on your attention part, the inside pizza part, because you don't have a control over your boundary. Suppose you are in the workplace or in school, you are focusing on completing your classwork. There could be a distraction out there in the corridor. Now everyone has different span of different attention span or the skill to grasp thing or information in one go. So realizing your own personality, you need to take a call whether you want to invest your energy at that point in that distraction or this completion. So you have to come up with very creative ways, like the topping that I had mentioned yesterday, so as to make that work more attractive to yourself. Or you can pep it up with like different things for your own self as a reminders, some statements, some affirmations, which can hold your attention to complete the task. That is the category I want to mention, and I have mentioned there are 6 categories. Please listen again, see in which category you fall into and what could be your main responsibility at that time. In any of the category, if your main point is missing, if your main focus or end result is missing, you will have the symptoms. Very common symptoms that people say, oh, this person does not have focus, therefore their work is incomplete, their work is pending. Both are different. Just make note of it. Incomplete work is that you have started and left in between, but pending work means that you have even not attended to it. You've not even started that work and therefore it's pending. And it's piling up, there'll be a backlog. Further on, if all that happens, then you may get stressed out, you may have anxiety, you may have mood swings, there will be a shift in behavior, there could be a diet change, you may not like to eat something, your focus coming down, self-worth coming down. That is the reason also recently only I have posted 3 posts: procrastination, then social anxiety versus anxiety, and anger. You can go and listen and read. I wanted you all to find a connection in all of the 3 posts. The 3 posts and the starting point. If not, please go and listen to the video of procrastination which I have already uploaded on YouTube. I have mentioned as to how procrastination can lead you into your own low self-worth. I don't need to reiterate or repeat it right now because of the time factor. Coming to reasons, I have written some reasons. So these are the symptoms, the backlog and all that part. Reasons which, wherein you need your focus can be, first is the time. That is very important. Again, because time you can actually categorize it. Like for example, if you are working in your office, or if you are working in school and in your room or doing some work, doing the completion of homework, or you are completing your work given or making any project, you know best what needs your attention. Think about that work, okay? That is your pizza part. That is the circle part. Before that is the box, that comes the mind space. So that is the time also, because mind is sticking with time. You need to bring your attention to that current time. As I said, don't jump into different categories, or even don't jump with your own output, how you used to do the work earlier. You're not doing it earlier, you're doing it now. So focus on this moment. Get back into that moment. See what work is there. You should have that end result. Oh, I want to achieve this. Don't confuse your mind with multitasking and priorities, because that's the second point. Over here, it's multitasking, like you're doing a lot of things and you don't know which one to prioritize. With the pizza example, if 4 friends are there, you're ordering different types of pizzas and each one shares, one piece, and you make your own personal pan pizza with different flavors. Your mind will be confused at that point because it's multitasking which one to eat first. So you will pick up one piece, maybe taste one, then the other, and you're not finishing it at that point of time. So this is just a relatable example. This will happen in real life, wherein you are doing the work and you pick up one work, oh, I have to finish that also. The planning is missing. So you don't know how to execute. The focus is now jammed. It's like, it's having its own conflict, which one to do first. So prioritize your work. Give focus some direction because it needs your attention towards that particular point which needs to be attained. So it's dependent upon your own guidance. You will guide, you will make the choice, oh, I want to taste this piece first. So you will taste that, you will complete it, then go on to the next one. Likewise for the work, you will complete which is very important for you, and it's like the most important thing to do. Do that, go to the next one. Make a plan, because plan will tell you what you have to do and how you're going to do it. Unless until you know what you have to do, you will not find out how you're going to do it. Why is because you need to do it. If it's student life, you need to complete your homework. If it's, in the job scenario, you need to complete that project, or you need to make that, you have to send that email. It is the requirement. Procrastination, again, I've just mentioned. Overwork is like learning to say no. That will come in the solution part. But overwork is when you are piling yourself with work which is not needed. Like office work is there, school work is there, then your family. That's why the environment is also very important. Your house or family setup is important. It's very difficult to create that focus in totality if your family is not in sync with what you are doing. If there is a student and they need to be focused on their work, on their studies, and the families are making plans to go out, visit a marriage, somebody is coming in, even when the child is sitting to study, there is a movement in that space. So that is going to by default take away the attention part of the child. Same way with adults. If you are in that space and there is movement, which you know that you will get distracted because now you're matured enough to understand your own distractions, your own triggers. So you are exposing yourself in that setup. Suppose your friends are coming, you know that they are going to come. So manage, plan, make some concrete executable layout for yourself in which you are going to save time and complete your work. So that is what smart or creative focus is all about. You need to have those channels for your own self open. Like in a game, you have different levels, and in different levels, you have the options to use the tools so as to progress. Sometimes you may need your energy level, sometimes a skill to kill somebody, or you can bypass those enemies. That is a choice you make during that game. Your end result is to go to the next level. So keep that in mind. Your goal is again to complete the work. Your goal is to finish that pizza before it gets cold and then you're not very interested in eating that pizza. So that is the other point. Then is the season. When there is a climate change, focus can shift. You may not feel so thirsty, so dehydration may happen. That takes away the focus. It's a direct link with your own focus and the abilities to stay in one position doing something. So keep yourself, that's again a solution which I'm just adding on right now, so it will not be there tomorrow. So keep yourself hydrated. Diet is also an important thing. When you are on a diet and you're losing out on your nutrients, that has a direct connection with your focus. So if you're on a diet plan and your work is pending, go and correlate with each other. That is one of the reasons why you are not so interested or enthusiastic about doing or completing a work. That is important. Going to the next part is hormonal changes. That can also be a factor in your juncture of this life, wherein whichever category you are in, there could be hormonal changes, and that also affects your focus. So you can then have a checkpoint. Oh, everything is good with me. The health reasons, grief is also one of the reasons which has an impact on focus. It's very difficult to focus on the activities and daily routine types, to go back into that, to pursue your career back if there is a loss in the family or with a near and dear ones or with a friend. So that has an impact. It can be very subtle or it can be very direct. So you need to find out, oh, if I have lost somebody, then it's very difficult accepting that thing, but doing again the priority part from that multitasking bracket that I have just mentioned. Environment is there. Exercise is also one of the reasons why you may lose focus. It is also a reason which can increase your focus. So how it can increase, I'll tell you tomorrow. But if it's excessive exercise, or you are diluting your priority time to invest in exercise, that is one of the reasons wherein you are diluting again your focus part, which is needed to execute or complete a particular task. You know best what is happening in your own situation. So these are some of the reasons, or you can say again, focus is directly interconnected with it. These are one of them. Let me see. Nutrition. You can have a healthy diet. You can have a wonderful meal plan. Make a note of your nutritive requirement for that particular category. You should not again compromise on your nutrition or the minimum required nutrients which should be present in your diet. That will affect your focus part. In my book, Just Talk Therapy, which is available on Flipkart and also on Notion Press, you can Google it up, and on Amazon also. I have dedicated a chapter on why vitamin D and how vitamin B12 is important in your life. You can read it, and also you can find out on internet. Google is there, how nutrients are important and how they affect your focus part. It is important. Do not ignore or neglect. See, information versus knowledge is very different. You can get information, but are you knowledgeable enough to accept it, implement it in your own life? That is very different. It is what you need to understand for your own self. Anyone can give information, but you need to be upright to understand your own situation, to understand what you need, sift it, and then take it for yourself. Don't just listen and absorb everything for yourself. Sit down with pen and paper, see which category you are, see what is required for it for your own self. If the symptoms that I had just mentioned, is it there in your life? Okay, if it is there, then focus can be one of the reasons besides others. So that's all for today. I hope you all benefit out of it, and don't just listen and this is one of various videos available. but I have really thought about it from the perspective of each category. It is important for you to divide the time for professional as well as personal self. You can't have, okay, on January, February, March, I'll be more dedicated towards my profession, and then rest I will be dedicating myself into for the personal life, and then whatever is remaining in me. No, that doesn't happen. It's not the real factor. In reality, everything is going in sync. That's why the stress level increases, because you don't know how at times to change those factors like the treble and the tone factor or the bass. As for the music, this is the music of your own life, your own creativity, your own onus of taking the responsibility to step up for yourself. This is the time. Take care. Tomorrow I will be there with the solutions how you can increase focus. Two I've just mentioned. Okay, the diet part you should not be missing. You should learn to say no when there is an overload. Work for yourself, because you are already doing it. You don't need to buckle down under someone's influence, so that your own focus gets deviated or distracted. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.